Good evening. Welcome to the Critical Lens podcast about all things film and now television and streaming. I am here going live to discuss episode 1 of Lanterns. Yes, I just literally watched the episode and was like, I need to go live to talk about it. This is important. As now we have our first look at how this season's going to turn out, both the good, the bad, and all sorts of stuff. And before we get to the spoilery details of it, I'm just going to give my brief thoughts on the episode. And I'm going to start with this. It's a solid start. I wouldn't say it's an amazing start, but it's a solid start to Lanterns. I think that the groundwork has been laid for us to get, hopefully, a very good mystery show. I can tell that we're not going to get a lot of superhero type stuff. And I'll go in more detail now when we do spoilers, but this is the this is True Detective with sprinkles of superhero stuff mixed in. It's easy to see from the get-go, but you know what? It works. And it works really well in a lot of aspects. And there's a couple areas where it slacks. Uh, okay, buddy. All right. Blocked. All right. Um, crazy. All right. I would say this episode is probably a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. Again, solid start. Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre have amazing chemistry as Hal and Jon Stewart. As Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, their chemistry is amazing. I think that the secondary performers did really good work as well. I think that we are hopefully in for a really good mystery. They certainly know how to lay the groundwork of a mystery well. And it looks good for the most part, visually wise. Script isn't that bad. I think that this was better than I thought it was gonna be, especially because it's not a show I've been particularly excited for. Not that that really matters, but here we are. I do think it moves. I think the episode moves a tiny bit too slow. Could have been a little faster paced, just a smidge. I'm mostly fine with the pace, but it needs to be a little faster. I think that that's a huge compliment. Thanks, mate. I think that I think it's really it. There's not really much to discuss without the spoilers. I'm trying to think of what isn't a spoiler that I can talk about. The first 5 minutes that they posted online, they're fine. It was fine on YouTube. It's fine now. I think that dialogue could have been a little bit better. I think they're too quickly hinting at a few things that is going to come down the road, and nobody is prepared. But there's not much I can really get into non-spoiler wise other than that I liked it. Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler great chemistry, really good mystery laid out. I want to see if they can, actually tell it though. And I'm hoping that the rest of the season can at least keep this pace. We'll see if it can. But there's not much I can do without talking spoilers. So, fair warning, it is spoiler time. So, if you don't want to hear anything regarding spoilers for Lantern, don't listen beyond this point. Come back after. The episode ends in 2026, and Hal Jordan is dead. He is finito, shot in the head. The ring is gone, and Jon Stewart has to figure out what happened. And this was already leaked ages ago, but I'm not glad it came true, because I would have at least liked to have had some hope that he would have maybe died at the end of the show and not seen dead at the end of the first episode. We know Jon Stewart is going to be Hal's successor. That's incredibly obvious from the get-go. It's just, why now? Why now? Why reveal that now? I would have liked to have maybe if you're not gonna do it at the end, if you're not gonna have Hal Jordan live through a bunch of this and then have a sacrifice play, a hero's play, then maybe you turn around in about the halfway mark in the season. So you do the first half is the 2016 storyline, and then you the halfway mark when it's resolved, and then you go their separate ways for 10 years. Then you can jump to 2026 and Hal's dead, and that takes the second half of the season, so that we can turn around and get Jon Stewart to turn around and have his whole time to himself. We could see him with Hal, and then we could see him without Hal. But that's just not how they're doing it. The the alien reveal was okay. I think the questions he was asking were very stupid, though. Do we really expect... This is supposed to be a small town in Nebraska. I don't think everybody would know Harry Potter in Nebraska. I can't guarantee that, but I would think there's a chance that there are people that genuinely don't know anything Harry Potter. That's okay. I don't know why that's a measuring stick for being an alien. It's okay, bet. We'll just turn around and ask stupid pop culture questions that they may not know the answer to, and then if they don't know the answer, they must clearly be an alien. So that was stupid. That was incredibly stupid. But Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler dynamic is what's going to carry most of the show, though. For all the scenes that they're going to be in together, it's clearly going to carry the show. They're so good together. I just wish that we didn't have to spend time. It's gonna suck more with them spending time together and not and not having like the surprise of what happens to Hal like later, so we can get some build up versus what they're doing now, which is we know Hal's fate. And again, we could have assumed he was gonna Kaputski at the end of the season, but you could have at least had us guessing. Or like halfway through reveal it so we get some actual dynamics and build up and relationship with Jon Stewart so it matters more. Instead of just being like, oh yeah, this is the first episode. He doesn't really care for Jon, but he has to train him. And Jon's just trying to be calm and composed, and then we're gonna have Hal die at the end of the first episode to set up a secondary storyline that you could have made the second half of the season. What are we doing here, people? What are we doing? This isn't the time to turn around and reveal Hal's death. You wait. You wait on Hal's death. You save that again, minimum. If they turned around and just had the first half of the season be the 2016 storyline, like fully dive into it, and then like at the end of that, you can then jump forward to 2026 and reveal Hal Jordan is dead, and now Jon Stewart has to on his with Carrie turn around and find who killed Hal Jordan, who killed Green Lantern. But unfortunately, we're not going to get that. And I just want to, I wish I had some ambiguity on Hal Jordan, even if he died at the end of the show. At least some ambiguity, so I can at least have more time to connect with the character emotionally instead of just having him revealed dead at the end of episode 1. It's like, okay, so now everything I'm watching, I know Hal's fate. So I don't get to enjoy the moments as much because I'm not sitting there with like the hope that they can continue on together. And I know that people were like, "Oh, he's not in Man of Tomorrow." That's fine. If Hal Jordan's not there, you could have had Jon Stewart there, not Hal. That's fine. But what are we doing? What are we doing? Having it set in a small Nebraska town though is hilarious. I will say that I found that pretty funny. Why Nebraska? All the if you really wanted a state, right? Right. Where's my camera? If you really wanted a state with nobody in it, you pick Wyoming. Now Wyoming's got people in it. I just and it's unfortunate because like right, so like in the trailer, in the Lanterns trailer, there was that stupid end gag where they turn around and have Hal do the bottle opener. And it's like this is the first episode. And it's not even funny. It wasn't funny in the trailer. It doesn't even work in the context. It's not even funny in the context of the show. If it was meant to be a joke or some funny little gag or whatever, it's not. And I just think that this was a very, very, very. That was a very weird thing to just insert. I. But like, title card was nice. I'll also say that I'm a big fan of like title cards. They are all unique. I like unique ones. So there's that going forward too. just a very minor thing, but it's good. But this image here from the let me see if I can pull this up 1 second. This image from the trailer here, I'm about to pull up. This is in the first episode. He's stopping an alien from exploding right here. And that is about all there is to it. Dude, Kyle Chandler is really good as Hal. And it just sucks that we don't get to really enjoy him as Hal, and at least like in the show, not like having like at least having hope that he can get out. He's gone, but I just it's just weird to have a HBO show start like that and then not like try to do anything to differentiate it, or like not do anything to make it somewhat ambiguous. You're just like, oh yeah, he's Kaputski. And it's like, oh, so we're really just wasting him fast. I don't like it. I would have liked some more. I would have liked some more time, not knowing if he survived or not. But instead, and people are gonna turn around, and when like they're at the football field, and they're obeying the female sheriff, there's probably gonna be somebody that turns around and goes, "Of course, the sheriff's female." No, like don't listen to those people. It's a stupid argument. It's irrelevant. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all. That's about. But we did also get like a look ahead, and the look ahead looks good. The look ahead looks promising. I don't know what Guy Gardner's role is gonna really be, but he seems to have a small but semi-important presence whenever he shows up. It seems to be at least a little bit significant. We're looking at an alien attack on this Nebraska town, and we know the only thing we don't know is 99% of the stuff related to finding out how Hal Jordan died. Not how, but who killed him. Because he was just gone. And then one shot to the head. Again, the ring's gone, which I don't know I don't know the logic of the ring. I never read the comics, but I'm just enjoying it. Like the superhero like aspects of it are its weak points. The like when they're talking about the ring, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna try to like. I'm sure they're gonna explain the logic of the ring. They're gonna explain all that, and then it's gonna turn around, and they're gonna counteract their own logic probably at some point in this show. Who knows? But I don't care about the logic. I just care about the story. Is the story good? Are the characters entertaining to watch? Are the performances good? And I think those three are all yeses. I still think that like it moves slow. Word that I like it to. I think you could have probably cut a couple minutes out of this to maybe just give it a crisper pace. And you just I just don't like having Hal like revealed dead at the end of episode 1. That's not I feel like it's a terrible way to end your first episode. Like it's gonna get people talking. People are gonna be talking about it nonstop, that's for sure. But I don't understand. I don't understand why someone would turn around. That's a bad creative decision. You gotta be able to turn around and have some time with him, bro. We barely know him. We barely like if you don't know anything if you don't know comics, I don't know comics. Don't know anything about Hal Jordan. So this is a show where we could have gotten to know Hal. And if they did it a certain way, we could have gotten to know him well enough that when he does die, we care. But I don't. No, they just killed him in episode 1. And like, I know Jon Stewart's beloved, so I'm not hating on Jon Stewart. I really liked Aaron Pierre here. I really did. I just to to turn around and just I don't know, man. I'm I'm a little concerned. That's it. That now that we know Hal Jordan's fate, I'm not gonna care about like they're gonna probably have him be in risky situations that we're gonna know he's gonna survive. So you take risk factor away from there. We know John everything in 2016, we know they're gonna survive. We know the sheriff's gonna survive. We know everybody that they introduced in this episode, most of the people that they actually named are gonna survive. So you took away all risk, all suspense, and anything actiony that happens during the 2016 parts. Like if you put Hal or Jon Stewart or any of the characters that like they show in this season on Lantern stuff, you take away the possibility that we're gonna worry about losing them beforehand. That's why like immediately cutting. I'm not. This is the one. This is gonna be the decision that like. This is gonna be the decision that turns the show. Honestly, is having it be Hal Jordan dead at the start from the get go, and not giving us a window where we don't know if he's gonna die or not. More than likely was going to, but we don't know when. You give the suspense of when, so that when he goes into risky situations, when he's put in harm's way, when he goes into harm's way because he's a hero. If he's not being put in it, then he goes into it because he's a hero. Then like do that. That way there's at least some suspense or some tension on whether or not he's actually going to survive. This is the moment that Hal Jordan dies. The whole show, and I'm gonna stand on this. The whole show, the rest of this show, all the remaining 7 episodes are not going to feel that great because they're going to put Hal Jordan. If they put Hal Jordan in situations where it's like, how is he really is he going to survive it? The answer is yes. We know the answer. We know the answer. You know what makes. You know what makes. You know what made like I said. You know what made this good. You don't. If you wanted to reveal something involving Hal at the end of episode 1. Don't have it be the death. Don't show his dead body. You could have had the ring on the bleacher. No body. Now you don't know if Hal Jordan is dead, if he's been taken. You could have had something. But no, he's dead. So now anything that happens with him in the 2016 storyline, I don't care. I'm not gonna have any tension or suspense on anytime he engages in action. Anytime he does anything where danger's involved, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna survive. Because I know when he dies now. He dies in 2026. Don't know who did it. Don't know why. We just know that he does, in fact, perish in 2026. And this is a really stupid decision for the start of your show. It's the one thing I can rant about for like 2 hours. If I made a show, or like if you made a show, if somebody made a show, and like it's not superhero related, let's just say it's a police show. You show your two main cops. One's training the other. They have the same kind of dynamic, right? And at the end of the first episode, the teacher is found dead. Well, then any possible risky scenarios you put those two officers in before, like anytime you try to show stuff before that moment, has no weight and has no levity. I I hope they do it well. I really do. I think they can. It just baffles me that this is what we're doing at the start and not like at least midway through. Like re-editing it so it's all the 2016 storyline for the first half. And then the second half is the 2026 storyline where we find out Hal dies. So that way we've had the moments with Hal to get emotional, to have him have some emotional weight in the story. We then also get to enjoy the action sequences more because we don't, at least for that first half, we don't know if he's going to survive any of them. We have that built-in tension of, is he going to make it out? There's weight in all of them if we don't know if he's going to survive. That makes every single one interesting and a risk, which this show just completely took away. So I just that's the one thing that's gonna like kill the show for me. If they put Hal Jordan in the 2016 storyline, if they put him in risky situations, then I will riot. Because you've ruined all of those by showing him dead at the beginning. If you wanted to have John Stewart deal with something in 2026 involving Hal, you don't have the body. You have the ring. Like he finds the ring. Hal is missing. Because then right? If you like, it would still ruin. It would still ruin the 2016 action stuff if they do anything like that for the rest of the season. Because it's like, okay, we know he's gonna survive, but it would make it so that there's still hope for something interesting in 2026. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm just spitballing, but like that's my thought process on that. I just want a really good show. This first episode was a promising start, and I just wish I just wish that I just wish they didn't reveal Hal Jordan's thing. And I got a friend of mine that's seeing it. All power to him. I hope he enjoys it. But I'm gonna be live for a while because this episode only dropped like an hour and a half ago, and people are just checking it out. I think that we're in for a treat. I do. I think if they can You can maintain the mystery aspects, keep the dynamic interesting, and put John and have the 2026 storyline be interesting, then we'll be fine. But I don't know, man. I'm hoping for the best. I am. I'm hoping for the very best because it's rough out there. It's rough. But I also think if you really I don't know, man. This show is it has now interested me for a multitude of different reasons, for good and bad. I don't know if they'll be able to pull it off, and I'm nervous if they don't. But also, I just saw that they can lay the groundwork well, so they know they can build the mystery. Can they pay off the mystery? It's like suspense. It's like tension and suspense and horror. If you can build it, that's one thing. Building a great mystery, building an interesting mystery, is one thing. I think Lanterns accomplishes that. I think the mystery is interesting. What are these aliens? Why are they here? Why is 2026 tied into that? Well, other than the fact that Hal Jordan is Kaputski, um, I'm wondering if these right if this creative team can execute a really good mystery after already turning around and just being like, yeah, we we already turned around and already turned around and killed we already killed we had 2 Green Lanterns. And we already killed one. We heard your complaints apparently, and he's no more. He's here. And I actually really like Aaron Pierre, especially as John Stewart. I think that this casting wise, really good job. And I think John Stewart has great potential going forward in the DCU if it continues beyond Man of Tomorrow. But you also had really good casting with Kyle Chandler as Hal. And instead, you fucked it. You sent it away to the high heavens. And you took a giant dump all over the potential. Even in your own show, the potential is gone. He could still do decent. He could still do good, but it's not going to matter because we don't have all the emotional possibility, like all the emotional connecting you could have done with this character, all the tension building you could have done action wise with this character, with Hal Jordan, is now gone. So you're left with relying on Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre to pick up the slack. You shouldn't be leaving it to Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre to pick up the slack. That's not that's not what this is for. And hopefully, just maybe, um, it they do something to where this decision doesn't hurt as much. Like, it's still a bad decision. The decision is going to bother me for the entire duration the show goes on. And I will be reviewing every episode every week. I've decided that. But I want them to do good. I want to like this show as a whole. Liking the first episode is one thing. Liking the show as a whole, like the whole season, is a tall order. And I want them to do good. I do. I really do. I just think that they did the wrong start. They did it like the first episode was good, and then they decided to cut it off at the knees at the end. You could have had so much interesting stuff going on. You could have had us in suspense in terms of Hal Jordan. You could have had that all, and you blew it away like he did his bottle opener. And can I also acknowledge those ribs look good? I know they weren't cooked, but those ribs, you bet those ribs came out good. It's Nebraska. Those ribs tasted delicious. Had to have. Having a joke that everyone's related in a small town was funny. They were funny. There were definitely a couple funny moments. That line about everyone being related in a small town. Okay, that's funny. That's really it. The awkward moment when you find out that the guy that you welcomed into your home is the one that your wife had just banged the night before. Which, did she know? Like, she obviously did she? I don't know. Did she just do that to do that? Did she just want to? Did she just want Jon Stewart so she could have Jon Stewart? It seems unnecessary. That's like that's like something you could have cut out. Well, you could have implied it. It's already kind of implied when you have that pause where she's like, "Walk me to my truck," and you could have you didn't need to show the sex scene was unnecessary. You could have cut that out. Some people might turn around and be like, "No, you need to keep it." I think you could have cut it. That's just me. But 7 out of 10, in my opinion, a solid first episode. I think that they could have done better, but as a start, just to lay the groundwork, mostly great. For the show's sake, for the conversation's sake, I really hope this decision to turn around and kill off Hal Jordan in the first episode does not bite them in the butt. That would be hysterical if it does. As someone who thinks that it's okay, I'm fine with them killing him. Again, the one thing I'm gonna be on this point like forever. As long as the show is going on, I'm gonna have to be on this point because it was a bad move. You want to kill him halfway, you kill him halfway. You don't have to turn around and You don't have to turn around and have him die the first episode. You want to kill him halfway, kill him halfway. I don't care. But you killed him. You killed him. You killed him with the first episode still having time left. Like I don't know why that was the idea you decided to have. That seems like a bad move. Seems like a really bad move. And I hope that it doesn't affect the show. I want the show to succeed because again, it's starting strong. But right now, I think that it was a bad move, and there's really nothing to it. You had this whole thing, this whole time, this timeline, the 2016 timeline, is very interesting to me. I'm in love with it. I find it interesting. Why Nebraska? Why, like, how long have these aliens been here? Is this something? How is this gonna, how is this gonna be involved in terms of like the rest of the DCU? Is there gonna be any other connections to the DCU other than Guy Gardner? Like, I'm very interested to see all these ramifications. The 2026 stuff is just Hal Jordan's dead. Why? That's it. It's just because it's just a murder. It's just a murder case at that point, and that's not. Without knowing the 2016 stuff, it doesn't really give me much interest. I'm not interested. That's the other thing. You killed him episode 1, and without the emotional attachment that we're supposed to get, that you could have built with all that action, with all the tenseful action, with all the emotional buildup you could have had with him, the time to connect with him over several weeks. By taking that away, he's dead now. I don't care if they find his killer or not because I'm not attached to him. This is the thing that bothers me is why? Why? Is this the move you decided to make? You're killing so much potential with this show by doing that. Like, all due respect to the team, I hope that that's timeline, that story is well written and then I enjoy it. But by burning through Hal Jordan now, before we even get a chance to breathe, before we have any other episodes drop, Hal Jordan's dead. Surprise. I don't I don't have the emotional attachment to be like I want his killer brought to justice. I don't have that attachment. I don't have the attachment to be like, oh yes, John, who I also barely know. I want you to avenge Hal Jordan. I don't have that drive. It's just okay. It's a murder mystery. It's a mystery, and then you have a murder case to solve in 2026, and it's Hal's murder. I I could be out of line for all I know. I just think that it's stupid. It's so stupid. I wanted better. I did. For Hal. I want him to have his time, man. I want him to have his time. I think he deserved it. Especially because when's the last time Green Lantern in live action was done well? I think never. This was the chance to have a proper Hal Jordan. And we're just gonna not have him. Oh well. You know, I really do wish I do really do wish I liked this show. I really do hope I enjoy the rest of this show as much as I sound like a complainer. It's this one thing because this one thing has repercussions on how I'm going to feel with the rest of the show. You don't take a character that you're going to follow for a while and kill him. You're cutting you're cutting your knees before you even have a chance to stand up. And I want I want good things from the show because Supergirl was bad, and this is the now new project from the DCU. So I want this to be good, so that I'm excited for DC. Yeah, because that'll get me excited for Clayface, even though I'm already interested in Clayface. But that'll make me more excited for Clayface. And then if Clayface is good, that gets me more excited for other DC stuff. But if you're making decisions like this with Hal Jordan in episode one, I am terrified to turn around and find out how you handle the rest of the show. Because you thought this was a good idea. Maybe I'm crazy. I think I'm crazy. I feel like it. I feel crazy. And I'm hoping this show gets has good ratings. I really am. I'm hoping for the most. Discussing film interviewed Damon Lindelof and Tom King about the twist about Hal Jordan's death. And the quote they pulled is, quote, "The fans are going to hate us." Um, I feel like, and I'm no genius. I feel like if you're making a show, first of all, it's called not called Green Lanterns, it's called Lanterns, which I don't care. But when you're making a Green Lantern show with two Green Lanterns that are supposed to follow, and you don't put green in the title because Code Green is stupid, you're not the people to be running the show. On top of being like, okay, we gotta make a lantern show. How about the people that we need to watch this show? How about we anger them? How about we annoy them? That's what that's what we're looking at. And I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm just here. We'll see. I'm hoping for the best. I really am. And look at let me see if I can get the look at that. Look at hold on. Look at see if I can find a proper picture from the episode. If one's out, there's not one really out. To be fair, the episode did just drop an hour and a half, 2 hours. About to be 2 hours now. But I mean, like this man's shooting. Aaron, I could compliment Aaron Pierre all day. Aaron Pierre is so awesome, and I hope he gets the good writing he deserves. But we'll see. Oh boy. I'm also wondering if I wonder if when this show finishes airing, will it be like as the weeks go on, as we get more, as every new episode drops, as we get this show more and more, are we gonna are we gonna is there gonna be like good to talk about? Are we gonna have fun talking about it? Are we gonna be drained of it after like 3 episodes? Are we gonna want to stop? Are we gonna get burned before we have a chance to even turn around and like process? I just I want it to be successful. I really do. Especially because their dynamic is so good. Their dynamic carries the show, and the decision with Hal Jordan at the end completely ruins it. Completely breaks it. I want what's best. I hope. I hope that we have a good show on our hands. There's not much to talk about. It's only the first episode, and I could rant about the ending, placing it there all all night long. But I gotta be careful because for all I know, I rant about it now, and then like next week, it's fine. Everything's fine, and the decision makes perfect sense. And then I'm watching, and I'm like, oh, that's why they did it. I just don't think I'm going to, and I'm nervous about that being the case. And Twitter seems to not care either. Honestly, people are starting to react to it. Seem like they really like it. But thanks for joining, one viewer. Thank you very much for joining in. I appreciate you watching. Um, if you've already seen Lanterns, then you know that this episode, in my opinion, has been pretty solid, and was pretty solid. I think that them showing, oh well, them showing what happens to Hal at the end was stupid, but here we are. Um, you could have built Hal up in a suspenseful way. Oh well, but maybe, just maybe, they do later on, and it goes down smoothly. I hope. I hope this decision doesn't bite them in the butt, bro. To kill, if you're even if you were gonna kill him at the end, it's fine. Like killing him is not the problem. It's when you decide to reveal that he's dead. You got it. You cut it at the knees, bro. I might be crazy, crazy as all I can be when you make decisions like this for no reason. Like, why are we. Why? Why? I don't understand. I should have bought Green Lantern when I was. Oh my god. There's no reason to, like. There's no reason to have showed him dead at the end of episode 1. 1. It's asinine. Complete buffoonery of the highest order. And when everything settles, when everything's settled, when it's all, when the episode's been out and watched by people over the next day or two, we'll see if that still stands. By the way, him saying he is an agent of the Green Lanterns instead of just saying the Green Lantern and not saying the Green Lantern Corps was an interesting choice. I don't know. Like, there's small stuff you could nitpick, but it's not worth the nitpicks. I'm just trying to focus on the big thing, which is the ending of the episode. Should not have been the ending. And then him. Why is he? They're gonna explain it in future episodes, I think. But Hal Jordan not wanting to hear the oath was also interesting. I just the Hal Jordan stuff, right? I'm gonna show my face. Yeah, there's a Hal Jordan thing. Hal Jordan could have been so, like, he still can be a good character, but we could have had the potential for something really great if he wasn't immediately cut at the knees. I don't know why this is what we're doing, but this is what we're doing. I want them to stop. I want them to stop doing that because it's not. It's not. I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Hmm. Hello. I've been ranting about lanterns this whole time. I hope you, one viewer, enjoyed the episode. I did. And I think we could have a really good mystery on our hands if they can write it well. Aaron Pierre and Jon Stewart. Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart is a really good casting, and I think he plays it really well. Kyle Chandler is a really good Hal Jordan. Um, I think that that's executed well too, and I just think, spoiler alert, what they had I handle Hal at the end of the episode is for lack of a better word, unfortunate. I think they could have put that at a different point in the season to build up Hal. Give him more emotional weight. Give him more. Give us more time to get attached to him. Make his action. I'm sure there's gonna be action sequences with him, but make those action sequences somewhat tense and suspenseful that we don't know what's gonna happen. He's gonna go in and he's risking his life. Is he going to come out of this fight? We know the answer to all those questions now with the ending of this episode. Because if you've seen the episode, he's gone. And they could have done something, and they could have, if they wanted to, they could have put it halfway. Like, I'm not opposed to him just like no longer existing. I just wish they turned around and didn't do it at the end of the first episode. It would have been, you could either have it be a sacrificial play at the end, a heroic sacrifice towards the end of the season, or if you really wanted to turn around and prioritize Jon Stewart, you do the first half of the season be this 2016 storyline. And then at the end of that fourth episode, when you've already wrapped up 2016 and they separate, you can then cut to 2026 and you can show Hal and you can show Jon going and seeing Hal's body and the sheriff on that snowy field. You could have done that. But that way we could have had time to get attached to Hal. Proper multiple week attachments. Instead, we got maybe 10, 15 minutes. Maybe he's on screen, maybe 20, 25 minutes. Maybe I'm underestimating how much time he's actually on screen in this episode. It's still not enough because most of it is just him being all jerkish with Jon Stewart. So you're left with either not not really caring for him, but you like Kyle Chandler's portrayal of him, like performance, which is in the me camp. I like Kyle Chandler's performance as Hal. I think Hal Jordan as a character overall, I don't is okay, but I could have had time to get attached to him, get emotionally connected to him, yet to enjoy some sick tense action sequences if there are any in the 2016 storyline, and not know if he's going to make it out of those, because then you actually have some stakes in those. Instead, they lose all their importance. Anytime he goes into danger, and when we know in the times when he is alive, the moments are gone. That whole enjoyment is gone, finito, dead. Because we know what happens to him. We know he's gonna survive. We could have had that ambiguity, and instead we lost it. And now I also it ruins the interest in the 2026 story. Because if you had time to connect with Hal when his unfortunate passing is revealed, then we have an anchor. Then we have an anchor to turn around and want to see him avenged, want to see whoever did it brought to justice. And now I don't care. It's unfortunate, but I don't care, and I want to care. I want to care. And maybe I will. Maybe this decision is not a bad one. Maybe this decision is just okay. But it's rough to say the least. Oh, brother. It's something. It is something. I just it's a little upsetting, but nothing you can really do. Just kind of have to take it and hope for the best. Hope for the best. That's all you can do. And I 3 hour and 50-minute gap between show times. So maybe Dune is 3 is closer to 3 hours than we thought. Which would be sick. And I think that's all there's really left to talk about. And this is only the first episode. And if I'm getting this intense over the ending of this one, I really want to know how they turn around and I wonder if I'm gonna be this into the rest of the season if it's not executed as well as they executed this one at least for the most part. But I really want good things. That's all I want. I want beautiful, amazing things. This show. I don't want to hate this show. And I sound like I sound like a hater when I'm ranting, but like I really, 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 really want to like it, and I hope I do. And if I don't, it's unfortunate, but I'm hoping I do because I don't want to hate anything. I don't want to hate a show. I don't want to hate a movie. So I hope I like it. So we'll see. We shall see. But we shall see. We shall see. My friend saw the episode. It looks like he's not coming. Looks like he's not coming. I'm still alone. So, there's not really much else to talk about unless I want to rant about the execution of the ending for like forever. So, I think that is it for now. Once again, a solid start. I think this is a pretty solid episode. I don't think it's I don't think it was amazing. I do think there was like slightly slow, but the mystery was pretty good. You could have cut the sex scene out. It was unnecessary. Um, why didn't he say Green Lantern Corps in the courtroom? I have no idea. Um, the dynamic between Hal and John works for me. Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler, thumbs up. Um, that's really it. But killing Hal at the end, dumb decision. At least for the first episode, that was a really dumb move in my opinion. They could have handled it so much better than they did. I get they were going for the shock ending of the beginning of the season, so you would tune in for the rest, so you can slowly see it all unravel. But I don't really want to. I want to see the 2016 story go, but I don't want to see the 2026 story go. But I am going to call it there. Thank you to any and all who listened. As I rambled on about lanterns. Episode 1, pilot. Pilot in air quotes. Um, hoping next week when I do this again that I got more positives to talk about. That we get to enjoy another really good episode. Until then, this has been fun. Be film lovers and TV lovers. Be film and TV lovers, not film and TV haters. Until then, thank you very much for listening. Bye bye. Have a good night.